From Tony Nadal's slick moves to Patrick Mouratoglou and Serena Williams umpire drama, here are some tennis coaches who got caught cheating by trying to help their players. Starting with the most obvious of them all, Tony Nadal. Now, this won't come as a surprise to tennis fans. Tony hasn't played fair in years. He may be the guy who introduced Rafa to this game, but to be honest, he's also the one who's tried pushing ATP and Grand Slam rules one too many times. In an interview back in 2013, he even admitted to this and said that at this age, I've got nothing to hide. And yes, I have talked to my nephew during games. Like, dude, we know you've gone way past your prime days, but maybe learn some discretion? But no, Tony's always been at the forefront of the list of complaints about his behavior during games. He even received a warning back in 2010 at Wimbledon from the chair umpire for coaching Nadal. And even Roger Federer was found complaining about this at a game in Rome in 2006. But according to Tony, he isn't the problem. The rules are. And I guess he isn't the only coach who thinks that. Boris Becker's another one. He admitted to having cheated one too many times by communicating mid-game with Novak Djokovic at BBC's Radio 5 Live, saying there are moments when Djokovic may have looked up during games as if looking for assurance, and because, according to him, the relationship and bond between the player and coach is so close, he may have given him some signals here and there to let him know how to serve next. Actually, no. What he really said was that they have their own secret way of communication, and when need be, he'd find his own way to tell him if his game's good, bad, or what to do next. Now, while that's not the most up-and-up coaching style according to ATP and Grand Slam rules, Djokovic says it's alright, quoting that he doesn't think they're cheating, although I'm not sure what other word he can use for blatantly not following the rules. But according to the player, he never receives explicit instructions on how to play, just encouragement and moral support of sorts. Now that's one way to put things. Although this isn't the first time Team Djokovic has found themselves in hot waters. His supervisor Jerry Armstrong was also caught up in a controversy when he was found smuggling a paper note to the player in a game. Now, I know Armstrong isn't exactly the coach here, but the way I see it, the note could have been from anyone. The video of them doing this was caught by a bystander who captured the video and uploaded it on TikTok, complete with the Mission Impossible theme playing in the background. This caused a huge controversy at the time, because according to the rules, any communication between the player and their team is strictly not allowed. But Djokovic has always been more of a daredevil when it comes to his personality, so I'm not super surprised that he has been mixed up in not one, not two, but 3 scandals involving breaking this rule. Yep, there was also another time when his physiotherapist, Ulises Badillo, was found mixing something mysterious in his water. And as he got the bottle to him, all the other players in their entourage actually shifted to block the view from the cameras. The whole thing blew over until the air was cleared. But then again, exactly how many times will the Serb find himself in controversies before he learns that he has to get his act together? The same goes for Apostolos, who was caught red-handed violating the rule of the game while helping Stefanos Tsitsipas. Actually, no. Let me retell this story in a more fitting fashion. Now, like all other coaches, because at this point, I think practically all coaches like to break this rule, Apostolos was also known to signal his son during games. So, to weed him out, the Australian Open tournament officials thought up a sting operation to catch him in the act, and as their plan would have it, as soon as the father-son duo connected over a glance, the officials got on their cases and slapped Stefanos with a code violation warning right away.
Code violation, coaching, warning, Mr. Tsitsipas.
Well, just picked up that.
People, especially tennis commentators from around the world, were amused by the whole thing, commending the Australian Open team for doing what they did. And I think the happiest of them all would be Daniil Medvedev, who was pretty peeved at the way Tsitsipas and his dad were behaving.
Bro, are you stupid? His father can talk every point. His father can talk every point!
Well, guess karma had to hit them soon enough. But while these stories of coaches trying to help players are shocking to say the least, I don't think any of them can even hold a candle to one of the worst tennis dads of all time, Jim Pierce. The famed abusive father of the talented Mary Pierce was never anyone's favorite guy, but he literally crossed all boundaries when he yelled, "Mary, kill the to his daughter during a tournament. Now that's a little too much, isn't it? Apparently, his outbursts in the games were so bad that instead of helping his daughter, he was being abusive. Unsurprisingly, he was banned by WTA from attending all future tournaments. Speaking of toxic parents, there's also Damir Dokic, whose daughter, Jelena Dokic, was once known for her father's bad behavior that he used to mask as helping her. According to reports, he was once thrown out of a tournament for calling all club members Nazis. He also accused organizers of fixing the draw once, and smashed a journalist's phone before being kicked out of the Australian Open. Eventually, Jelena dismissed him as her coach, and I think everyone's lives got a lot easier after that. But then, I don't think anyone could ever be safe if dads like Christoph Faviau exist. Now, this dude was the ultimate baddie in the world of tennis coaches. I don't know if it was his lack of trust in kids, or just a deep anger stemming from past trauma, but he actually did the most unthinkable thing while coaching them, and doped 27 players during matches against his kids. This was between 2000 and 2003, when he was literally on a rampage to help secure wins for his son and daughter. Sadly though, he was finally caught. Only after a player he doped tragically died in a car crash. There are also reports of players collapsing during games because of this.
No, I think he has to fall foot.
Which is why he was sentenced to jail in 2006. Ridding the world of the worst coach caught helping his players. I bet Djokovic's water bottle and Tsitsipas's dad don't seem too bad to you now, eh? On a lighter note though, let's now talk about Patrick Mouratoglou, Serena Williams' coach, who also admitted to cheating, but of the normal kind, aka coaching her from the stands. Now, look guys, I know that's a violation, and not the best thing to do, but at least the guy wasn't doping anyone, or breaking their property, right? I guess Patrick thought the same, because after admitting to the act,
Chair umpire is coaching.
Well, I mean, I'm honest, I was coaching.
he said that everyone does it, and it's literally the most normal thing now. Although this all came to a head in 2018 when chair umpire Carlos Ramos caught him helping her, and gave them a code violation.
Serena was watching her coach.
Well, while this was a normal interaction for a game, he went on to give another violation to her, after she broke her racket as the game wasn't going in her favor.
And that led to her smashing the racket. Here, that was the point penalty. That's what comes after.
The whole thing caused a pretty big controversy, with Williams claiming she felt insulted, as if she was being called a cheater. Even Mouratoglou said that while helping players from the stands was a standard practice despite the rules, the umpire shouldn't have started all that drama. Well, Patrick, maybe you shouldn't have broken the rules either. But then again, as I said earlier, it seems like every coach has broken that rule at this point. And so, there you have it. From Patrick Mouratoglou and Serena Williams umpire drama,
Stole a point from me. You're a thief too.
to Tony Nadal's slick moves from the crowd. These were some of the tennis coaches who got caught cheating by trying to help their players.